Hi, this is On It Imagination with the ethical asshole. I am your host, the salty bitch. So I found a book. I saw it yesterday and I put it off. Today I was looking through it again and it was on investing. I was going through the chapter outline when I saw the word Fibonacci pop right out at me and I went, oh no, this book, I know what it is. So I got it. And I was listening to the breakdown. He was going over the introduction. And in the introduction, he used words like radical, honest, and transparent. And I have these four investors, and these four guys who don't know each other has the same formula. And I went, oh, I know exactly what you've got. And then when I scrolled down to the Fibonacci chapter, I took a quick glance at that, and right off he said with the Fibonacci pattern, what he was saying in that section was, you got to make sure you're facing the right way. And I went, oh, I know what he's got. So in short, he's got the life formula. Now, the life formula is in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The life formula is the 12 ethics, and it is in chemistry. It's in biology. Plants follow this thing. Nature follows this thing. Cells follow this thing. When I built the formula, when I reverse engineered it and I put together the formula, outlining it in the sequence as I found it, I got formula A. And that formula A is literally the entire structure of the subconscious mind. And I went, cool. And I set it aside. And then I did it again, a completely different formula, or so I thought, for business. When I was done and I had reversed engineered business, I had the exact same formula. And it was like, wow, they match. And as soon as I lined them up to match them, and I realized that the life formula, the subconscious mind formula, matches the business formula, I recognized them. They are the formula that's inside chemistry and in biology. Now, when you have 4 data points, that's a pattern. So I brought them together. And it was around this time that I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I realized he found it also. But he didn't know what it was. And he explains that in his book, that he doesn't know the science or anything behind it. He goes, I just know this works. So he breaks down the steps, which is what I have, but he doesn't have any of the psychology of the science. He just has the steps, and they all match up. So I realized that this life formula is literally inside of everything. And I don't look for it. I just compounded the work, put it together, and continued on my journey with my research. Today, I found it in investment. And this man took 4 different individuals. He had interviewed over 50,000 people. And of the 50,000 people, he said these 4 people blew our minds away. And he said they all had the same formula and they didn't even know each other. That's the life formula. And I'm getting ready to read the book, but it's definitely the same formula. There's nothing that comes close to this. The point is, with it now being an investment, with it being in business, with it being in real estate, with it being in the subconscious mind, economics, psychology, and now also being in, and we've had this for a while, with cells, chemistry, and with biology and plants, this thing is guaranteed to be in everything. It is way too consistent for it not to be. I refer to it as either the life formula or the truth formula, which means if it matches up to this formula, it's correct. Hands down. And the math, the physics, the logic, the science, the chemistry, the biology all show up to prove it. Every science proves this formula over and over again, no matter what academic discipline it's in, which means if you are studying a discipline and you do not have this formula, you're doing it wrong. Which means if you are not following this formula in your life, you're doing it wrong. Now, ironically, the formula is literally the layout of triadic healing. It is literally the how to live your life according to nature, because it's how your subconscious mind is literally run and operated. So when you build a business, by the way, it's the same business structure that Steve Jobs built. It's identical. It's the same structure, the same business model that Rich Dad, Poor Dad built. They're identical. All of them are. And what they've done is they have stumbled upon the life formula or the truth formula, and the wealthy people have figured it out, that they just follow it. Now, the other side of this is when you do this life formula, you can't do this thing and not be ethical. It's It's kind of like mandatory. You cannot get this formula if you are not unethical. It's not possible. And as a result, the people who have it are highly ethical. They're very quiet and they're very laid back. They're very private. So as a result, they're all teachers. They're all very much we have to share this with the world. And yeah, that's exactly what you do with it. You have to share this with the world. Every single one of them unanimously is sharing it with the world. It's extraordinary. So the fact that I have one more data point in this whole thing is very exciting. I'm going to be, as I read this book, and I'm going to be reverse engineering the book to break down and show the similarities to what I've got to draw the common denominators. And that's really it. It's mathematical analysis by taking what he's got and comparing it with my research. So I'm not reading this book as an investor. That's what I picked it up for, was for investment purposes. Instead, I am reading this book as a scientist to look at the common denominators of, okay, here it is, and here's everything over there, and seeing where everything lines up in accordance with biology, chemistry, math, the physics, the logic, and also the business model. So that's very, very exciting. And I'm looking forward to also jumping into this community and being able to speak with him as well, so that I can sit down and review all of the research and the science with him, because this is so exciting. And what this means for everything is, if it does not align to this sequence, it's a lie. If it does not fit into the sequence, it's wrong. If it does not fit into the sequence, you are doing something that's going to cost you a lot more energy and a lot more effort than if you just follow this formula. It's literally Easy Street. It's the formula of Easy Street. I really cannot give that a better name. It's the formula of life. It's the formula of Easy Street. And it's the formula, and it's not really easy, because you got to be honest. That's really the only criteria. You have to be honest. You don't touch this road if you're going to lie to yourself. It's not allowed. If you try and lie, it will literally throw you out of the formula. The only way to enter the formula is through honesty, which is why when he said it, look, I'm going to be honest and transparent. Yep, you got to be. It's the only way to access that formula. The minute you try and manipulate data or lie, you are rejected, which is why people who are inside this formula are so ethical, is because they don't lie. They can't. If you lie, you will not, Mother Nature will cut you off. It's extraordinary, which means liars are going to contradict this formula because they can't get into it. And if they were telling the truth, then they would be inside the formula. It's literally the formula of the straight and narrow. It's extraordinary. And you are rewarded handsomely for it. You are absolutely rewarded for it. It's literally where happiness is. It's beautiful. So I'm going to be breaking this down and going over the common denominators as I read this book. I'm very, very excited, because the last time I got data like this was when I was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So to have all the research I have ready to go, so I can just read this book and go, yep, I'm just so eager, so very eager. So I will be posting about this. I will be doing reviews on it. And I will also be, if you want to buy the book, it is available on my Try to Killing Part 3 for politics, business, investment. And you have the ability to jump in, take a look at the book, and read it. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be right on the money. You cannot touch this formula with it being absolutely accurate. I'm very, very excited. So thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.